That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's the irony. As sad as it is, there's also something hilarious about the irony of these heads of diversity and inclusion who despise diversity and want to exclude and want to exclude people. Let's even because even if we play their game on paper, you are literally, you know, a woman from the most oppressive country in the world who escaped, had to deal with human trafficking and human slavery, who went through all this stuff, and you're literally like the story of, like, you know, you have a lot of victim points. Right,
I know, I
in the
do.
hierarchy, right,
Yeah.
you have a lot of
Yeah.
victim points, like, you know, you're not
Yeah.
just some, you know, straight white Christian man from a, you know, from a rich family in America or something. And so it sort of just amazes me how these individuals cannot see the absurdity and hypocrisy of saying, in the name of diversity and inclusion, we
Yeah.
need to exclude you from our program. I mean, it's not the exact same thing, but a couple months ago, actually, I got protested for the first time.
Oh no.
I spoke at a university in Florida, and, you know, a big group of students. First of all, they tried to get me disinvited from, you know, from
Of
even being.
course.
They tried to
Yeah.
block me from even coming on the campus. But then when I did come, you know, they gathered and they had their signs and, you know, their chants and everything, and it was also funny because I'm like, wow, okay. And my speech was about freedom of speech. So
Oh
all of these
wow.
so all of these students, and again, I don't even like to speak in their terms, but, you know, mostly white students are
Right.
gathering to, like, try to ban a black man from coming to their campus to speak about freedom of speech, and they're the ones who think that they're all progressive and woke, and, you know, some of them even had Black Lives Matter signs, and
Oh my God, that's so
I'm
much.
just like
That's so shocking. Oh my
I'm
God.
just like, what
What?
is
They
going
had a
on? Like,
BLM
this is
sign.
yeah, and I'm just like, this is the layers of the hypocrisy, and I'm just like, this is, I don't even know what time we're living in.
Yeah. It's it's as a outside, like as an immigrant, it's somehow it's so funny sometimes, or it's so ridiculous, it's funny. But I think that was the thing with this, what was wrong with North Korea. That when I came out, that was when the movie Interview was made about Kim Jong Un. Remember the movie where they Sony made a movie, tried to make fun of Kim Jong Un satire, and in the movie he assassinates Kim Jong Un, and then Sony gets hacked by North Korea, and then Obama has come out defend the movie that we have freedom of speech, we can watch the movie.
Oh, you know, I haven't seen this movie.
Okay,
I feel
so
like I
there's a
should.
movie Sony made in 20, I think 14, a satire movie. In the movie that they two agents from CIA goes to North Korea and kills Kim Jong Un and bring the liberation to North Korean people. A very dumb, stupid satire movie. Nothing about serious.
Yeah.
But North Korea was like, how can you do to this great, dignified our dear leader to like assassinate him? So they went, hacked Sony, and they released all of their files about the internal affairs that people had and what celebrity gets paid what, like a lot of embarrassing things that Sony had internally. And then the North Korea said, if you show the movie in American theaters, they are going to see another 9/11. They were literally going to bomb the movie theaters.
Wow.
So Obama had to come out and say like, hey, we have a freedom of speech. We have a right to watch this movie. But still the big theaters got so scared they couldn't show it. Only the independent theaters, the little ones, like can show the movie. And that time I came to America, it was shocking because North Korea was a joke to people. Only thing they were interested in was like making fun of his haircut, like how cartoonish he looks. And
Yeah.
they do not understand what this man does to the 25 millions of people. When something is so funny, we lose the gravity of the issue. And even though like these crazy liberal students left students at college campuses, right, in their like $100 yoga pants on their juice detox, and talk about how they're so oppressed. It's like the most bizarre thing and funny thing you can ever see. But those useful idiots, I think, can bring a country like North Korea and China eventually, if we do not stop them.
I hear that. I think one of the biggest problems we have right now in the modern West, and particularly in the USA, is that a lot of Westerners and Americans don't fully appreciate how good that they have it.
Yeah.
And I think it's a lot easier for immigrants, whether they have a story like yours or something that's far more mild, it's easy for immigrants to fully appreciate these countries because there's more perspective. And as a result of more perspective, there's more gratitude. So you're not interested in burning America to the ground and dismantling and deconstructing everything because you recognize that, sure, every nation has its flaws. But comparatively, compared to the rest of the world, compared to history, certainly compared to North Korea, this place is, you know, if you live in America, you've kind of struck the jackpot
Yeah.
multiple times. Does that mean it doesn't mean it's perfect, but I think that a lot of this behavior that you see with these, you know, woke types or these fake social justice warriors and whatever is they're just like spoiled brats basically. They have no gratitude and they have no perspective, and this is why they do all these goofy things and they're so hypocritical and they're just not making even sense because they just want to complain and whine and disrupt it. They don't create anything. They don't make anything, right? They just
Yeah.
want to tear down and destroy, and they want to attack you and they want to attack me and they want to attack Joe Rogan, right? They want to just like attack anyone who's building something and who's talking about personal responsibility and liberty and so on. They just kind of see you as the enemy. And I just think if people had a bit more, just a bit more appreciation of how good we have it, if you are a young person in 2023 and you live in one of these Western countries, then man, like so many billions of people around the world and all throughout human history would give an arm and a leg to trade positions with you. And I think when you
Oh,
think of it that way, it number one, it makes you a better, more appreciative, more gracious person. But it also allows you to, I think, become more successful because you see the opportunity instead of just seeing the problems. You know, it's good to see problems and it's
yeah.
important to try to find a way through them. But you also see the opportunity with it all, right? It's like, oh wow, like it's the thing that amazes me most about the USA, actually, even compared to the UK, is just the scale of opportunity. Just this giant country with 50 different states and thousands of cities and 300 million plus people and just so much true diversity and different interests and different, like there's, if you're anywhere entrepreneurial or creative or whatever, I mean, this is a place where it's like the opportunity is just infinite. And I think once you see it, it's very, very obvious. But so many people are kind of wrapped in this ideology and negativity that they don't even see it. And instead of moving from a place of abundance, they're coming from this place of scarcity, which is why they're always trying to pull other people down because they think that, oh, if you rise up, you know, you're pulling me down, or if that person is in a good position, then they're somehow an oppressor and I'm a victim, and because of my race or my gender or my skin color or my sexuality or this or this or this, so many people want to be the victim. And I think it's, I don't know, it's just manifesting in very weird ways, but in ways that are genuinely detrimental for society. Some of it is just funny and we can laugh at it, but some of it is actually very destructive and very
Yeah.
divisive, and it's putting people in these little groups and categories, right? These 51 classes. You know, it's like it's an unofficial version now that people are creating,
You do.
and it's not
Yeah.
good.
Definitely. It's a we have a pyramid for like this victim. Who's the bigger victim and who can score more of this victim, cards.
Oppression Olympics, absolutely.
Yeah.